Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics, and my pre-order arrived. I apologize for being roughly 5 minutes late. I thought I sent it for another 10 minutes later. But hey, I'm here, you're here, and we're going to do this unboxing thing. And normally what I end up doing, I get my pre-orders from DCBS, and I end up unboxing everything, organizing it, rebagging anything that needs to be, putting everything in somewhat of an order, not only for myself, but for you. I've yet to actually, which I end up having here, logging in on my stuff. I end up doing it the old-fashioned way. I have a Excel program that I just spreadsheet everything out. Now, as always, I want to acknowledge the chat and those in which that are here, which usually is Las Cruces. I like to be able to say hi and thank you for being here. So to you, very happy and healthy Sunday and weekend to you, brother. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to go ahead and start off with well, not something that came into my pre-order, but something that I end up getting this week. I end up getting another one of these Space Ghosts. Now that makes two when I say another one. And I end up winning an auction that ended up getting me another one. So I am pretty ecstatic about that. Not only that, but I'm looking forward to the actual release. It will be May 1st. And yeah, this Space Ghost isn't what we grew up with. Totally different, totally mature, totally awesome. I just can't wait. Now, I also had to go to another one of my stores and pick up something that was there for me waiting. I also had to drop off some books. The reason why is I was trying to get more signatures. Now, what I'm talking about is this. This is Pharaoh issue number 1. This is, I believe, the cover B. And signed by both Tony Fleeks and Tony Rodriguez. Yeah, totally stoked to get this. I was wondering if they had the package that I was looking for. They said they'll wait until all the books are done at once and then give me the fat stack of books along with basically a sketch on cover A. So I'm looking forward to that. And as I said, that was basically my week's pickup, along with one more. Now, let's throw this outside so I'm not running back for it. The Spider-Boy issue number 25, issue number 5, 1 and 25 also came in. That was also another eBay thing. I've been picking up most of my ratios for Spider-Boy on eBay, and luckily they've been coming in pretty good condition. Now, to start it off, we're going to go ahead and talk about an Image comic called The Last Mermaid, issue number 1. This is a book that I have already flipped through. I really love the color palette. I really dig the art. This is so awesome. I can't wait to get into this thing. It's a very unique size book. I'm not a big fan. Luckily, I do have a box dedicated to it, so, it is what it is. And then The Last Ronin, Re-Evolution. Yo, Ian, how you be? Hope all is well with you. Not too bad with me. Appreciate you being here. And, yeah, I did also flip through this one. There's another one I'm looking forward to actually getting into. Then, end up finding out another one of my stores had one of these things. This is the one per store. So I ended up picking that up. So now I got 3 of these things. I know that Jackson Lansing had some things coming up, and him and Colin Kelly have not been able to do signing events together. So unfortunately, I had not been able to get my stuff signed by them. They did the first 3 issues, I think, of Alien, Black, White, and Blood. And then this, The Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 1, they did together, along with a couple other books that I want them to sign. So I'm just waiting until I can get both those guys together before I end up getting these things signed. Also, they need to be a clean press. It's odd. I don't know if you guys have got any of these things and if you notice any of these things, but right there, they tend to have a little crease. And it seems so insignificant, but it is a definitive little dingy-ding on every single one of my books. Same place. It's so odd. I don't know what you're going to do. All right, hey, so let's get into some real books here. Actually, wait, no, one more. I end up picking this up, too. This is a book I end up getting from my shop. Whoa, DJ Wise. Fine Sunday morning to you, or afternoon. or depending on when you get up. And me, Wad, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope you've been well. Hope you're doing a decent weekend. Me, I've been drinking a little bit last night, and the night before, and I'm still almost kind of feeling it. So, hey, if you have to wake up to a Bloody Mary, see, it's a morning to you. All right. Now, this is a book I ended up picking up purely on the basis of the recommendation of my son. He is a huge fan of this game. I don't know if you ever seen it, heard it, played it. It's interesting, gory, really cool. But the fact that they end up breaking down as a story, now that I enjoyed. Is the art awesome? No. Would I recommend the art? No. Does it depict actually the story and the grittiness and everything? Kind of. It wasn't something that was really supposed to be that hardcore as far as being the best comic out there or being the best story or anything like that. What it was supposed to be is a fun tale that broke down the video game. Did it do its job? Yeah. I can't wait to actually get into issue number 4. It was pretty cool. I mean, issue number 1, I was like, okay, it's all right. Issue number 2, I was like, hey, okay, they're developing a real story. Issue number 3 was like, I can't wait for issue number 4. That's how that story is. Dead by Daylight. This is the acetate cover for Sinister Sons. Not heard anybody really talk about this one. It's a pretty cool cover, actually. And I thought the issue number 1 was all right. So, I'm looking forward to checking out issue number 2. Then I know that it kind of came out. Blue Book, 1947. This is issue number 2. This is based off of the Project Blue Book. So this is a second series of this book, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to put these things in there. I really thought it was a pretty cool book, the first series, so just had to jump in. That's a kiwi. Zoe's over there. Pardon me, I took Big Dab before I jumped on. All right, Dark Ride. You want out, Kiwi? They let you in. All right, issue number 11. What I promised myself is I wouldn't be doing the A's and the B's past issue 12. But however, this has been a solid series. I can't get enough. Basically, the simplest way to break it down is, what if you had to sell your soul to have Disneyland? All right, it's not that far-fetched, but what if you had to sell it to Satan? All right, still it's not that far. What I'm getting at is, what if it was actually part of the theme of the park? Yeah. All right, that's not that. Never mind. It's a great book. Read it. I really highly recommend it. And it's a whole family affair that just, it's very interesting and awesome. All wrapped into one. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Now, I totally spaced it. I ended up ordering this thing, and I almost picked it up at the shop. And I'm so glad I ended up picking it up, because this is my kind of book. It just looks so campy and awesome. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World is probably one of the most beautifully told post-apocalyptic story I've ever read. Jason Aaron is killing it with this one. And I always kind of seem a little sad that in a, bittersweet way that it's going to end at issue 15 or 16. Help me out if you know in the chat. Now, this is a Dawn Runner, if I recall. Yeah, it's a Ram V story. And this was the FOC, so it's a Virgin variant. I can't wait to get in this. And pretty much everything that Ram V writes, I really enjoy. World Tree. There's another one of these type of sci-fi horror books that is just, yeah, this chick is gnarly. And it's basically like a dark web come to life. It's gnarly. I really enjoy this story because it touches on another story that I've watched as a movie called The Cell. I think his name's John Cusack that was in that thing. And it really drops some similarities. And, and to me, it's almost tangibly possible. Almost like a Black Mirror thing. Devil Wears My Face. This is issue number 5. There's only 6 issues in this miniseries. This is written by David Pepose. He's also going to be writing that series of Space Ghost. I really dig pretty much anything that he writes. And this really is something that I like. I like these horror stories that are religiously wrapped, and this has these interweavings of religion tied into it. This is horrifically awesome, and I can't get enough. I'm looking forward to not only getting the Space Ghost, how it's so mature now in comparison to what it used to be, but the way David writes, it seems very baity. It seems very almost soap opera-ish, where one issue really has you itching for the next one by the way it ends. And this series does that really, really well. Void Rivals, this started it all off, and I can't get enough. This thing is just amazing. Void Rivals started the whole Energon universe, and it to me, it's not only a standalone book, but it really shows that how well this book launched everything else. This is probably one of my most anticipated reads every time it comes out. I can't get enough of the Void Rivals, and I just really love how this story is coming together. I really believe that these two are going to end up together at some point. It's inevitable. Cobra Commander. This is not the Cobra Commander we remember. This one is hardcore. We not only see him defined as a villain, which we knew, but one that is not only super intelligent, but very resourceful. The art in this thing's great. The story is even better. And it's just another reflection of how well this Energon universe is being written. Speaking of which, Transformers. All right, I just read issue number 5. This is issue number 6. Now that we, seen what ended up happening on issue number 5 and that last page, holy shnikes, I can't wait to get into this thing. I mean, yeah, Constructicon, huh? Devastator? Seriously? Duke, issue number 3 of a 5-issue mini is just amazingly written. Williamson is doing so well in his own right, doing this stuff, along with Johnson, who's been doing the other side of this universe. He's given us an individual who's on the run for just basically telling us what's been transpiring with these robots that have been on Earth. We know that inevitably what's going to end up happening is going to end up, being part of a darker side of G.I. Joe, and I'm sure he's going to end up joining us sooner or later. I ended up getting 2 of these, didn't get the original, but I thought this was actually kind of cool. So I think it was more of a spec thing than anything else. I am not reading it. I have no idea what's going on. I'm sure it's something important. Giant size Spider-Gwen? Yeah, I dig the chick. And I've been getting the Deadly Foe stuff. These little Deadly Foe floating heady things. So, hey, it was a 2 for 2 for me. It was a win-win. All right, Spider-Gwen issue number 4. I really was not trying to get into the series. But I read issue number 1. And I ended up buying it at the shop. I ended up hearing good things about it. So I was like, all right, sure, whatever. And then kind of made me, all right, I'll see what happens if issue number 2 comes out and I'm just around, I'll pick it up. Then I ordered issue number 3, and then I pre-ordered issue number 4, and there it is. So yeah, I'm digging it. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance. I'm a Red Hood fan. So being that we have this, we have Red Hood, and we have Hood taking over the mantle. This is going to be an all-out awesome just journey. I can't wait to get into this thing, and I know it's going to burn my eyes just reading it, but that's what you get when you get into a Ghost Rider story. Doctor Strange issue number 13. I'm sure it's lucky in some form. I've really been enjoying this whole Doctor Strange journey, and it's been awesome to see Clea jump in here and show her own right, how she was able to hold her own for, a first solid series. And then after the death of Doctor Strange, she was carrying it the whole time. She's not only a badass, but we get to see a side of Doctor that we haven't got to see before. I love that's been carrying on for a while, and something that makes him vulnerable, which I'm sure is going to be utilized against him at some point. The Century issue number 4. This dude's an asshole, and I've been loving the journey the whole time. Yo, Joe, how's it go? Hope you're doing well on this Sunday. And every issue just makes me want to see him get his, and it's yet to happen. I know it's going to. But the fact that we end up getting a Century and he's not too far as an asshole from the original, but it's still carrying on in its own right, something that's really enjoyable to read. It's been just an amazing journey for me, and I can't wait for this asshole to get his own. Lou's been doing a really amazing job, and I can't recommend it enough. If you're a fan of this old school character, then definitely get into this mini. I believe it's only 5 issues. All right, now Venom. I'm a huge symbiote fan, and I've been reading this and enjoying it ever since Grumbeck is jumped on. Doing a wonderful job both on this, and I'm trying to remember the other series. I want to say it's Thor or something like that, right? Coming out. Anyways, I'll probably get there soon. Really, really enjoyable. The way this is leading up to what's going to happen during the summer with this whole symbiote war. This, I think it's going to be considered a Venom war. Anyways, we know it's going to be a 3-way thing. It isn't just going to be a team. Brock's going through his own shit. Dylan is not only doing some self-discovery, but I think there's some cracks, in the armor. Along with Carnage is starting to see, even that as Cletus is nutcase as he is, he's actually making sense when he's even making the questions of, hey, look, when you get to this level, then what? When you're doing this, what's your ultimate goal? I've actually thought about this stuff, and as much as it means something to me, it means nothing to me. But you're hung up on this shit. That's where I was your strength. And as Carnage has been going through this journey to eliminate all his weaknesses, he's not really come to the realization that he's not really been improving his strengths. That's how I'm reading it. That's why this is amazing. So that's why I've really been enjoying this whole symbiote journey. Hope I didn't run it anyway for you, and I hope it made it more enticing. All right, now check this out. Went a little backwards. We got what ifs. Yeah, we do. What if? How about you? I got a couple of the blanks by literal term. I got 2 of the blocks. Really dig those things. And then I got 1 of the regular cover A's. And then I got a cover A of issue number 2. Now, I did read issue number 1. That is a story of What If She-Hulk. Now, issue number 2, I don't remember. I do truly believe What If Logan. It landed on Logan instead of Brock. I'm totally looking forward to getting into this. I like the What If series, and I'm a huge symbiote fan, so it's just a win-win for me, and I can't get enough. Night Thrasher issue number 2. I run into Jay Holtham quite often, and he is a massive, massive nerdy guy. This guy reads more than most people that I know. Every time he goes to the shop, he's picking up stacks like this, and he reads all of this stuff. So the fact that he got to write this story was an ultimate love for him. This is truly a guy that really loves comics. He really loves the comic community, and he really digs this character. And in my opinion, it shows. It's more of a passion project than it was just a project to write. And the way he describes it, how much fun he has writing this stuff, it really truly comes across that way. And I get that every time I meet him. All right, talking about the Carnage stuff as I was before, here's issue number 5. I think I got a couples. Yes, I did. But what I didn't show you is issue number 4. I mentioned I'm really far behind. So here's a 4. There's a 5. I do believe I got the connecting cover of the issue number 4. Where's the 5? I think it's 5. So it went like 30. Oh, I think it went. No, it was 31, and issue number 5, and then 32, and then issue number 6. They all connect to make one picture. So back to this. There's 5. There's another 5. Really dug that cover. And there's a 4. And it really seems like Anti-Venom is going to have one of the most luck with them. I would say a combination of Anti-Venom, Kid Venom, Silence, and regular Venom, both Brock and his son. That is the combination I believe that would take out Carnage at this point, because Carnage has just risen to a level that, holy shnikes, man. Yeah, just wow. Oh, speaking of out of order, I'm not out of order. Never mind. Issue number 2, Secret Wars. I've been digging this stuff. And yeah, you can go ahead and find all this stuff pretty much almost the same price. Issue number 3. I like to get it new, improved, and let them take my money once again and again and again. Spider-Woman issue number 5. I mentioned I'm a huge Spider-Boy fan. Oh, yes, I is. There's my apologies for not recognizing you. Happy Sunday. Appreciate you being here. I know you got a show coming up a little bit later. Hope everyone checks that out right after this. Or I got another one after this. After this or this. Speaking of which, I got to get moving. All right. Yeah, Spider-Woman issue number 5. Being that she came back, the only one that's really knows of her son's true existence outside of the people that kidnapped her is Bailey. He came back and he's like, well, yeah, I know about all this. That hooked me on redoing the Spider-Woman stuff again. Another one I was trying to shed. Turned out to be a decent story, and here I am buying a whole series all over again. All right, hey, speaking of Bailey, Spider-Boy and Spider-Woman come out on the same time. As long as they're not, missing any dates, which they haven't so far, they've been rather consistent on their release. They come out at the same time. So here's an issue number 1, or in issue number 5, cover A. I think that's cover B. And then I believe I got cover C. And then, as I made mention, I end up getting come on, it's there. I know it. Cover F. Yeah, I can't always afford that 1 in 100s and 50s and all that. I did get an offer for a 1 in 50. But still, just that far out of my league. I mean, you see what I buy here. Anyways, moving on. We have a Spider-Man. Issue number 1, cover C. I can't wait to get into this. I bought 2 of the cover A's. Excuse me. Now, this essentially sets up everything that's going to transpire with Spider-Man in the coming year. All the way, literally 12 months. My understanding, this is going to cover essentially 12 months of Spider-Man releases. It will go all the way throughout the year, and these stories will bleed into next year, all the way into their minis. And depending on the success of any of the stories that transpire out of here, will dictate if they do anything on and ongoing. As I made mention in the past, there's going to be no real ongoing series unless some weird anomaly happens. That will happen this year as a start. Anything that's already ongoing will be carried on unless a significant drop happens, and everything else in between will just be minis. That's the format. And I'm a huge blank cover fan. At this point, I probably have about 2 boxes just cover. And of late, I've been getting some sketches done. So I did get to read this, and this is a spectacular book. I'm just going to go ahead and play on that word. I do like when Peter and Miles get together. I like how well, depending on who writes it, which, I think it's all right. It wasn't who I thought. Wiseman writes this thing, and it usually, depending on who gets it, it comes off very whimsy. I really like the play on the story. I really like the interaction between the characters, and this is written that well and that way, and it's done very well, and I really enjoy it. All right, hey, we're gonna go ahead and get into a Amazing Spider-Man. I think it goes all the way back to 44, and then we got a 45 cover A, and I've been getting these things all the way through. This is probably one of the more cute ones. I mean, seriously. I'm just saying. And speaking of Miles, I could have took this one in. I didn't think about that. And what I mean by that is, if you stay along in a little bit, you'll end up seeing a show that I'll do, and I'll be showing a lot of Miles books. So this is issue number 17. This has been written by Cody Ziegler, and it's been really consistent. Ahmed did a great job in the past series. This one, in my opinion, does just as well as far as a consistent read. I'm a huge Miles fan, so this has just been fantastic for it to be as consistent as it's been, because it's one of those series that I really look forward to reading. And I can't get enough. I really can't. Symbiote Spider-Man, issue number 1, 2099. I don't think I did. I got to get into this thing and just a little bit. I didn't get to go all the way through. I'm a huge David fan, and this one is his styling totally. And the fact that the art, I mean, this art is crazy. Really reflects the story. I mean, look. I mean, that's what you get right when you get into the second page. It's so cool. I really dig it. So yeah, I'm digging the whole work, and I can't wait to get again. As you see, I'm totally behind. I haven't even logged the stuff in. That doesn't mean that I ain't chomping on the bit to read this stuff. Ultimate Black Panther, issue number 1, second print. Obvious. I just wanted a second printing. Hey, Ultimate X-Men, issue number 1. Now, the thing I found interesting about this thing is all the Ultimate stuff, the Black Panther, the X-Men, which I ended up getting more than one, as you can see. I was also able to order the second printings at the same time. They just arrived at a different time. I thought that was really odd. Like, they're just playing us. Anyways, the Immortal Thor, issue number 7. This has been a solid read also. Al Ewing is doing a great job on this thing, and I think this is actually what we needed. The first 5 issues, in my opinion, was kind of massaging out a lot of things that transpired in the past 2 series that didn't seem like there was closure on. So to me, not only was it able to amend some of those things, but it was able to go ahead and go in its own direction. So Al, keep doing what you're doing. I'm digging it. Yeah, see? And then issue number 8. I'm catching up, man. I'm trying. I swear. I am trying. Another consistent read is this one by Hill. Now, when I first met him and I was talking to him, he's more of a, I would say more of a script writer, for Hollywood. So he knows how to break things down when it comes to like storyboarding. And to me, that's how a lot of this comes across. So it's something that I'm very familiar with because of my profession, that how I was able to read it, I was able to recognize his style. I dig this. Blade has been one of the most consistent reads, again, in my opinion. I've been trying to drop so many books, as you see, I'm still picking up so many, and it's only because of the fact that they've been written so well, in my opinion. So they keep hooking me, frickers. I got the original. I wanted a copy. I don't mind opening this thing up and hurting it. As you well know, this thing will probably never maintain any real value in comparison to the original. This has been amazing. I got to get into this thing. I ended up buying a couple. So I ended up going to the shop, getting this, and I ended up pre-ordering this. And between the Untold Stories of the Foot Clan, Destiny, and which she is, by her own right, making claim to all of her father's clan and possessions that are attached to. But I really been digging the source book. I'm going to get all 4 of those things and read it together because it almost comes across as a manual, very forensic. But it gives you a breakdown and understanding like beyond anything. If you really thought you knew anything about turtles, just dump your cup, empty it out, and refill it with those source books because they'll end up giving you a truer understanding of what you thought you knew about the turtles. And then when you get into these untold stories and you go back and reread some of the books that you knew of the turtle stuff, I think you'll greater appreciate those books and how those stories were written, not because of how necessarily just well written this is, but because it was written after and it's trying to fill in certain gaps or give certain breakdowns and understandings through interviews and stuff like that this guy got and then talked to and then wrote down and made those source books. So cool. Anyways, back to this one. And this is it. This is all the books that I end up getting through my pre-order. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Let's go through the whole listy list. Meanwhile, dude, you're awesome. Thurs, appreciate you being here. Joe, as always, man, you awesomeness. And Las Cruces, always first to be. And I appreciate being congratulated on something that's been, long in the waiting for me. Now it's obviously to get the next one, right? Get that 181. They did have 182 there, but I'm just kind of following in series. Hey, DJ, dude, I don't recall you being here before, and I greatly appreciate you being here now. So, hey, if you like what you saw, hit that subscribe. Appreciate you being here, and look forward to seeing you again. If there's anyone I miss, which is Ian, I'm not gonna miss you, brother. I totally apologize, and I gladly appreciate you, Cruz and True. And that's it from me, Entropy. You stay well, and I'll see you soon.